Hello, my name is Cameron Smith, and today I'll be giving you the reasons on why your vote matters and why you should vote. With the large population in the United States, it can be easy to be tricked into the facade that your vote doesn't matter and it's not going to really make a difference which way you vote. That's certainly not the case, as the age group 18 to 29 makes up the majority and the most diverse community in the country. So your vote definitely does matter, especially if you're in that age range. And voting goes deeper than just casting somebody's name on a ballot. It is actually, you're really casting your beliefs per se, and you are not just voting for a person, you're voting for what you believe in, and that person represents you and your fellow community members, and that is what keeps democracy alive. And to some people, voting is a big deal, and to some it's not, but I really think we need to look back at history and see how so many groups fought for their right to even be able to vote, and how some have always had it and some even take it for granted. And today, more than ever, it's easier and more accessible to vast groups of people to be able to go and actually place their vote and not have any restrictions or anything like that. So I think today, more than ever, it's more important that we actually exercise our right to vote and not take it for granted, considering we don't have the past stipulations that other groups have had. It's really important that we get a large number of voter turnout, because if we don't, the community might not be accurately represented by who gets put in the office, the entire community that is, and rather just the percentage of the community that voted would have the say of who goes in office. And a study was done in California, and 8.2% of citizens who were eligible to vote actually voted. And that is just an example that the other 91.8% of people were not represented, whether they were all eligible, so that was all by choice. So that has to change in order to keep democracy alive and keep democracy's values alive, which are that every person be accurately represented. This lack of participation in voting can even have an impact on who wins the election, because it can affect who politicians gear their campaign towards more. They know who votes on the regular basis and who doesn't, and that can affect how much they campaign to certain areas, which may influence the way those voters vote, and that would ultimately impact the outcome of the election, which would again inaccurately represent the entirety of the community and would just be representing that small group of people who actually show out to vote. So the way we fix that problem is by actually participating in the elections as a whole community, and especially younger groups of people, because they are what makes up the majority of the community that isn't going to vote. So if we get that group of people in there, then the percentage of total voters will go up and the election outcomes will ultimately be more accurate. And truth be told, there really is no good excuse as to not being able to cast your ballot unless you are, say, sick or unable to get to a ballot center, because today it takes about 15 minutes to cast your vote. You go in, they print your name, your ballot off, take it over to a machine, and you put it in, input your selections, it prints your ticket out, you take it over, scan it in, and you're done. So the ease of it really eliminates any issue, and along with the fact that it is a holiday, so you don't have to work or go to school. Like myself, I'm a student, and we get out of school, and this year was my first eligible year to vote. And I went in and the process took about 15 minutes and I was all done. And there were no issues. They just needed identification and your name and some information about you. It's not much at all. And they will let you vote. So with that being said, people, especially my age, have no reason not to vote, like I said, unless you're just unable to go. But yeah, we really have to start turning out to these elections and start voicing our opinions. So with all that being said, that is why you should exercise your right to vote and get out there.